wherever you're listening or watching Radio Afinju. The time is 6 p.m.
Ẹ bá mi pè é o. Àfínjú. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfínjú. Rédíò. Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Lórí WhatsApp. Àfínjú. Instagram. Àfínjú. Facebook. Àfínjú. Lórí X. Àfínjú. Lórí YouTube. Àfínjú. Lórí TikTok. Àfínjú. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfínjú. Ẹ bá mi pè é o. Àfínjú. Rédíò. Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ 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 Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú.
Stay informed with news on Radio Afinju.
This is the world news on Radio Afinju.
First, a look at the highlights. FG proposes new role for retired military officers. FG willing to negotiate Kanu's release. 2 U.S. aid workers injured in Gaza. Good evening and welcome to the World News on Radio Afinju. My name is Pearl Durotoye. The news in detail. The federal government is proposing a national veteran security initiative aimed at formally fit in retired officers into key roles, including advisory, intelligence, and community conflict resolution. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, made the announcement in Abuja, where he urged retired military officers to return to active roles in national security, describing them as critical to the country's stability. Ribadu acknowledged significant progress in the fight against insecurity under President Bola Tinubu's administration, but noted that the battle is far from over. Minister of Works Dave Umahi has revealed that the federal government is open to negotiating the release of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Umahi, addressing journalists in Lagos, dismissed reports suggesting that the Southeast was making Kanu's release a prerequisite for backing President Bola Tinubu's administration. On the claim that the Southeast is being marginalized in federal appointments, Umahi dismissed it, arguing that Tinubu had done more for the region than many past leaders. He also affirmed that the Southeast geopolitical zone is fully behind Tinubu and will support his re-election in 2027. The Niger Delta Development Commission is partnering with the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas Limited, a joint venture with the federal government, to ensure the speedy completion of the 27.1 kilometer Bonny Ring Road and bridges in Bonny local government area of Rivers State. The NDDC Managing Director, Samuel Ogbuku, who made the disclosure during the inspection of the project, reiterated the Commission's determination to deliver the road alongside several others. Ogbuku emphasized that the project collaboration was a mandate from President Bola Tinubu. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has hinted on running for presidency in 2027 under the African Democratic Congress ADC coalition. Atiku, in a video on X while addressing a group of people in Hausa language, vowed to punish anybody engaged in corruption if he is elected president. Atiku, who lost in the 2023 presidential election on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, is believed to have moved with his newly formed coalition to the ADC. Though Atiku is yet to officially announce his defection from PDP to ADC, he has been a key figure in the opposition coalition. A few days ago, the coalition announced its interim national chairman, David Mark, and interim national secretary, Rauf Aregbesola, among other key officers. The Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) has strongly opposed any legislative move by the National Assembly to transfer labour matters, including the national minimum wage, from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent list of the Nigerian Constitution. NLC President Joe Ajaero stated the Congress's position on the matter while addressing members of the Central Working Committee during a National Administrative Council meeting held in Abeokuta, Ogun State. If approved, the amendment would allow individual states to set their minimum wages and determine broader labor-related policies independently. Ajaero maintained that granting states the freedom to independently set minimum wages could harm the welfare of workers, especially in states with weaker economies or governance challenges. Osun State Police have arrested an imam in Aranka community, Ede area of the state, for allegedly raping his neighbor's 8-year-old daughter. The victim's mother raised alarm after catching the imam, simply identified as Kadiri, in the act earlier. It was gathered that the victim's mother was disturbed, having sent the girl on an errand but taken too long to return home. Hence, she decided to look for her. An eyewitness, Arike Adisa, a student of the Federal Polytechnic, Ede, disclosed that the mother's noise attracted people to the area in Babasonya area, and she was holding onto the elderly suspect. A video of the imam, which surfaced on social media, later showed him confessing at the police station that he had carnal knowledge of the girl. On the foreign scene, South Korea's President Lee Jae-myung's National Security Advisor Wee Sung-lak is planning to visit Washington from July 6th to July 8th. The Office of the Presidential Security Advisor, in a statement, revealed that Sung-lak plans to have in-depth discussions about all the pending issues between South Korea and the United States. His visit comes as South Korea may seek an extension of the freeze on U.S. tariffs that is set to expire within days. South Korea's Trade Minister Yoo Han-koo had on Friday flown to Washington for meetings with U.S. Trade Representative Jamison Greer and other senior officials. Sung-lak is also expected to discuss a possible summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and Lee, who took office last month. In Europe, in a move to confront an issue that has damaged the global church's credibility, Pope Leo has appointed a French Archbishop, Thibault Vene, as a new leader of the Vatican's Commission on Clergy Sexual Abuse. 59-year-old Vene will be president of the Pontifical Commission for the Protection of Minors, while also remaining the Archbishop of Chambéry in southeast France. The Vatican Commission was created by Pope Francis in 2014 in an effort by the late pontiff to respond after sexual abuse scandals affected the church in countries across the world. The scandals damaged the church standing as a moral voice and resulted in a number of resignations of bishops. While some victims have praised the Commission's efforts, it has also been roiled by the resignations of several of its members over the years. In the Americas, torrential rains unleashed flash floodings along the Guadalupe River in Texas, killing at least 24 people as rescue teams scrambled to save dozens of victims trapped by high water or reported missing in the disaster. In a meeting with newsmen almost 18 hours after the July 4th crisis began, Texas Governor Greg Abbott said search and rescue operations would press on. Authorities said among the missing were 23 to 25 people listed as unaccounted for at an all-girls Christian summer camp located on the banks of the rain-engorged Guadalupe. Abbott said resources devoted to the effort would be limitless. In the Middle East, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, GHF, disclosed that 2 American aid workers had suffered non-life-threatening injuries in a targeted attack at a food distribution site in Gaza. The U.S. and Israeli-backed GHF said in a statement that the injured Americans were receiving medical treatment and were in a stable condition. The GHF said the attack, which preliminary information indicates was carried out by 2 assailants who threw 2 grenades at the Americans, occurred at the conclusion of an almost successful distribution in which thousands of Gazans safely received food. Separately, Gazan authorities reported dozens of Palestinians had been killed by the Israeli military in the past 24 hours, including near 8 distribution sites. Now talking sports, Burnley have completed a deal to sign Manchester City defender Kyle Walker in a deal worth up to £5 million. Burnley FC made the announcement on their official X account, saying the experienced defender has put pen to paper on a 2-year deal. Walker signed a deal with the newly promoted Premier League club after he had entered the final year of his Man City contract. The experienced Premier League defender becomes Burnley's latest summer signing after the arrivals of Max Weiss, Wendell Hartman, Axel Twanzebe, and Louis Chu Anna, while loan deals for Bashir Humphreys, Marcus Edwards, Zane Fleming, and Jayden Anthony have also been made permanent. Footballers Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva have been laid to rest by their family, friends and teammates at a joint funeral in Portugal. The funeral service was held in Gondomar, a small Portuguese city near Porto that has been left wailing after the brothers died. Hundreds of locals and supporters gathered at the Igreja Matriz in Gondomar, where the brothers are from, to honor the brothers who died in a car crash on Thursday. The funeral also brought together huge names from across football, including Jota's teammates Virgil van Dijk and Andy Robertson, who were seen carrying floral tributes into the church ahead of the ceremony. Before we go, here again are the highlights. The federal government is proposing a national veteran security initiative aimed at formally fitting in retired officers into key roles, including advisory, intelligence, and community conflict resolution. Minister of Works, David Mahi, has revealed that the federal government is open to negotiating the release of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, while dismissing reports suggesting that the Southeast was making Kanu's release a prerequisite for backing President Bola Tinubu's administration. And in the Middle East, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, GHF, disclosed that 2 American aid workers had suffered non-life-threatening injuries in a targeted attack at a food distribution site in Gaza. That was the world news on Radio Afinju. To view our channel, please follow Radio Afinju on Facebook, X, and YouTube. The news was edited by Bukola Karim. My name is Pearl Durotoye. Thanks for listening. Good evening.
That was the world news on Radio Afinju.